Yes, guys, it is Suki and Matt of BTS TV, Beyond the Stage TV, fueled by explosive vape and gold standard nutrition. And this is the week 42 recap. And Jesus, mate, this was one hell of a weekend to follow. You're in America. I'm by my laptop for the entire day. I think my screen time came up to 13 hours a day, which is ridiculous. I look back as well. I did 142 posts over the 2 days. There was a 4 million reach. But yeah, mate, it was tough. How was it over in America? Because that's where you were at, mate.
Very, very good, mate. Yeah, it was an epic show. It's the first time I've been to the Ben Weiders. I'll tell you what, it was busy. It was very, very busy. We'll go over it in more detail. But yeah, Suki, I just said this before we started recording, mate. You smashed it, keeping everyone up to date. And it's why the Instagram page has grown as rapidly as it is. You must be knackered.
Yeah, mate. I mean, look, anyone who watched the last recap, massive Wi-Fi issues at the flat I'm in London. So I actually went back to Derby that weekend where I had better Wi-Fi. I went to my dad's because I knew I needed good Wi-Fi to get the content out straight away. Because you've got to think about it. There's about countless amount of Instagram channels that are posting content. And it's all about who can get the content out first. So I've literally got two phones. I got a live stream on one phone, a live stream on my laptop. And I'm trying to get the content out, recording, pop the banner on the bottom. But look, I'll say this anyway, because I had enough people reach out to me on Insta after both days, all saying that, look, by far it's the best channel when it comes to getting a variety of content, especially ones that people haven't seen, but at the same time, not just covering the Ifbb or NPC, which of course a lot of the other channels are. You would think they're in the pockets of Ifbb, but with this one, we focus on everything: WABBA, PCA Worlds, the NPC2 Bros, Ben Weider. We had Emil over the Atlantic. We had Jessica over the Hawaiian show. There was plenty of shows. I think we had FMC UK BFF Show Classic, plenty going on. But of course, look, man, Prague was where it was at. I'm going to say this right now. I normally do my ratings at the end, but I'm just going to give this rating out of the way. The Prague show, I can't fault it the slightest. If there's anything that other shows can take from the Prague show, it is all about building hype. And there was so much hype coming into this. Of course, you had the C-Boom effect, but Prague did what I used to love at doing when I did NFMEK, going to the Atlas. If you remember the Atlas 2022, I did the whole hype building for, it was a men's classic, Leon versus Theo versus Mustafa versus Dougie, and then Elliot joined in. And we had all this hype building, this face-offs in the UFC octagon. We had Game of Thrones graphics. It was all that. And what I loved about the Prague show was, my God, did that capture the imagination of how to build hype for your show, which I feel a lot of shows miss the mark when it comes to drawing the eyes, building that narrative, building that story. The whole story was, can Chris Bumstead win the open class, or will Martin beat him? Sean Clarida, the 2-1-2. That's the storyline, and that's what probably, I dropped the message to the promoter asking him, mate, can you give me a rough figure of how many pay-per-views he sold? And he wouldn't give me a figure. But I would love to know how many pay-per-views they sold, because given that 110 grand in prize money, for what I saw on AJ and Giles stories, they were doing so much in regards to how they looked after everyone. They were chauffeuring everyone to the airport, to different venues. Ronnie, Chris Cormier, all that. But mate, what a show that looked like. That looked one for the history books. And like the post the other day. Is it the greatest ever European show outside, of course, Olympia? When you take an account of Chris Bumstead, the amount of eyes it gathered onto that show, that it just literally broke the internet in every possible way. Harney Rambod announced his retirement as well.
It's crazy.
Jeez.
Absolutely crazy, mate. You are right. I would be very intrigued to see what the pay-per-view numbers were like in relation to other big shows, like the Arnolds, for example. The Dubai show was a pretty big one, and this just got so much more hype. And the promoter's great anyway. So yeah, you're right. The combination between that promoter and Chris Bumstead jumping in, I think just made it just an epic weekend. So yeah, really, really cool, and definitely put it on the map for sure.
100%. And look, mate, just as we finish with that, I can see our first guest about to join us. We're about to add him in now. Let's add Jack Richardson. Jack, mate, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing excellent, mate. How are you guys?
Very good, my man. Very good. We've been very entertained keeping up with the weekend. Mate, you must be buzzing.
Yeah, unreal experience, mate. Honestly, just, it's a dream that has it sunk in. It's mind-blowing, really, for a number of reasons. But as you can imagine, obviously competing at that memorable weekend is obviously, it's just priceless, really. I can't really put into context how grateful I am to have that as my opportunity to debut as a pro. And it went well. It couldn't have gone better, to be honest. Like, it was very eye-opening in a bunch of ways, for sure. 100%.
Jack, I just want to jump in first off, because I know Matt will have some questions for you, but I want to ask you this question straight away. We've got this picture. Let's get this one out of the way. We've got this picture of you and Seabum.
Mm-hmm.
Just let's get this bit out of the way, mate, and we'll talk about your experience on the stage. How was it being around, obviously, Chris Bumstead? Did he give you any words of encouragement either before he went on stage or walking off? I did see a story, but he did mention that he did tap you on his shoulder, but Give me the details, mate.
Yeah. Okay. So I had the opportunity to have, some conversations with him. It was eye-opening. One of the reasons why this weekend was eye-opening was to see this guy with that type of notoriety and the buzz and hype around him was crazy, because there was obviously different levels of fame. So you had people who already were establishing a name for themselves, like Pratsy or whatever, competing, and then you've got people who've established a strong name, like Martin and Sean Clarida. Obviously, Sean being a 2-on-2 Mr. Olympia, and then you've got another level, which is Seabum, who had to, be treated differently due to the amount of fame and buzz that he had. He had to sort of be escorted places, and the amount of people that were coming up to him at every opportunity he had to rush over to him, it was mental. And like I say, I'm grateful because I didn't want to bother him. I saw this and I didn't want to bother him too much, but the conversations that we had were authentic. That's why I was grateful as well, because it wasn't me going up as this big fanboy. We were speaking as fellow competitors, and the first conversation we had was, I approached Martin, Sean, and Chris, and I was like, "Hey guys, I just want to say it's an honor to debut as a pro amongst you guys." And Chris responds with, "I'm also debuting as well." And I'm like, "Mate, this is a side quest for you. This is a crazy thing for you." But he's genuinely down to earth. It's actually impressive, because how he could keep his composure with all that going around, all the mayhem, all the cameras in his face, and as soon as he gets off stage, there's people wanting to interview and chat to him and find this, that, the other, and he can still be down to earth. Fantastic. And I think that plays dividends to his character. There was a moment after the prejudging when we came off stage, and again, it was these authentic moments that really made it for me, because he came from an actual natural competitive standpoint, where he just looked at me, tapped me on the shoulder after the initial greeting that we had. It was, I don't know, it was not really words needed, but it was that confirmation. Tapped me. It was like, yes. sort of a well done type thing. This was also great as well to be a part of the posing. The pose down obviously went mental at the end. Then, you know, I think we all just followed Chrissy's like invulnerability to do whatever the fuck he wants, to be honest, go and enter the crowd. And yeah, we just all had a great time just posing to the crowd, which again, something I've never done. And yeah, he sort of said to me this was going to be his last show, because I know beforehand he was a bit like, well, maybe am I? But he sort of confirmed that to myself, and he confirmed it with the post afterwards that he is definitely retiring. And I was like, it makes sense, you know, because he's made his legacy.
Yeah.
And yeah, he can do well in the Open. What's the need? He can make more money elsewhere, and like it's going to be far more demanding from him than being a classic competitor. And he's got more notoriety and fame than the current Mr. Olympia, you know? So he's got nothing to prove from that aspect. And he's also just started a family. So I don't see personally why. Like, I think he could win the Olympia if he was to do Open as a full-time thing. But I don't see why he would need to be honest.
I had this conversation with someone earlier today. It said exactly the same thing, but then I also thought, I've tried to retire before, and it's the first time I've beaten C-Bum at something, because I at least lasted 2 months. He lasted about 2 weeks before he announced he was out of retirement to do Open. So, like, the inner bodybuilders in us, like anyone that loves a sport, it's fucking hard to stop, because just enjoy it. So it'd be interesting to see if he would come back in a few years' time if he misses it. Because I do agree. I think he could potentially, you know, go for the top spot if we had time to actually build that size, because he looked incredible at this show.
Yeah, let's be honest. Because it was funny because it was a similar sort of thing for me and C-Bum. The fact that so I finished my season and I was like, I'm going to stop now. He obviously finished his career. He was like, I'm going to stop now. And then he entered this last minute. And that sort of incentivized myself. I was like, wow, oh my God, this person's in it, this person's in it, and now this person's in it. And then I looked through the rest of the lineup. I'm like, wow, this is actually a show I could do. I'm not fat yet. Let's do it. So it was like, sort of, why not? But during that time, he wasn't really able to display his potential in Open. And I think this is what people are confused by, because people are like, oh, he's not really too much different. He had, a couple of weeks to prepare? The main difference is going to be fullness, and that's what he brought. Without obviously jeopardizing the conditioning he had, he could only just really... He's not going to pack on shitloads of tissue, like 10 pounds of tissue in a couple of weeks. Yes, he is genetically gifted, but he's not going to be able to do that. And also, if you push the fullness too much, he already sacrificed condition to go to the Open. If he did it too much, then everyone would be complaining that he just got fat over since the Olympia.
Jack, I want to talk more about yourself, mate, anyway, about your experience. But I'm going to finish on this one last question. Who did you have as a winner, Chris Bumstead or Martin?
Do you know what? I have a good case for all three to go, right, to win. But I believe, as much as this was a historic show, in regard to, obviously, you had 3 different type of top people in 3 different classes, it was also a statement to be made out of who won. And the statement which will inevitably set the precedent moving forwards, because obviously you've got 2-on-2, you've got Classic, and you've got Open, right? So you've got the Open guy. So you've got Chris, who was Classic as fuck, and he looked Classic. He still looked fuller, but he still mainly looked quite Classic. definitely obviously held his own in the Open, as you saw. And then you've got Sean Clarida, who was sort of the opposite. So you've got this compact, really dense physique, very conditioned. And then in the middle, you had Martin, who had this lovely shape, great amount of muscle, still good amount of conditioning. I think although all three of them did the best to suit Open the most, Martin suited Open the most, as he is an Open competitor. He, like Sean, there was three different physiques. And again, this is subjective sport. There could have been, a case for each one of them. And believe me, I was there and I was like, I can literally objectively make an argument for each one of these people. Like Martin, he had a blend of the two physiques because he's still got a beautiful shape. Yes, he's not got this sickening shape that classic Chris has got, but he's still got a really good shape in the Open, and he's also a lot denser than Chris. But also Sean Clarida, he's got this really dense, bubbly frame, but again, his stature is 2-on-2. So I think they all did represent Open very well, but Martin probably represented what Open is at the moment and the statement that they should be making moving forwards. Because if Chris would have won, then there's going to be a lot of classic motherfuckers thinking they could just win on shape. And they're going to disregard the fact of, there still needs to be a good amount of muscle going into Open. You still need muscle. I do think shape's going to be a highlight moving forwards. I think we've been seeing that with the judging. But with, again, I don't think you can just he does obviously have muscle.
Yeah.
He just doesn't really, again, it's like,
I agree with you, mate, because Martin still does have shape. That's the thing. If Chris was like against like a mass monster like Neckzilla or Nick Walker, for example, then that would be such a contrast then, because those guys don't have as good shape, sort of thing. So it could be such a big difference, and that would have been really interesting. But Martin still did have shape, and you're right. Yeah. The density, I think, you are right. Martin just fits the bodybuilding criteria, and it's a bodybuilding show.
It is, because it's like he was like a blend of the two.
Yeah.
I thought the nice, obviously didn't have the shape of classic Chris, or the actual muscularity on his frame like Sean did, but he had the blend of the two.
Yeah. What did you think, Suki?
Look, I'm not going to take about 10 minutes like Jack did to try to get to the point where I was like, Jack, just give me the plain name. I'm going straight to it. I had Chris Bumstead winning. Now, obviously, I wasn't there. I can only go off the multiple cameras and videos I was watching. And I don't understand how Martin was winning after prejudging. I felt that he was far better in the finals. He did look a bit watery. You could tell that from his sweating. Now, I don't know if I was at the heat or light of Jack's better position to know that. But I think everybody was on the same wavelength, taking off the Chris Bumstead hat. We're going off pictures, videos. We're not going off one picture, one video. We're going off hundreds that we saw. And it looked clear that Bumstead should be the front runner. Martin came back better and made it definitely tighter, but then so did Bumstead. I thought he looked tighter and better. And in my eyes, Bumstead was the winner. It was definitely close, definitely Clarida third. But look, I'm just a bit more concerned about the prejudging scoring. I really don't know how they've had Martin winning. That's where I'm like, wait there. If Martin was winning on prejudging, and he came back so much better in the finals, my God, it must be a flawless victory then in finals. I didn't really see that.
Didn't all the judges have it unanimous decision as well, Martin, in both prejudging and finals?
No, I don't think. See, it was weird for me. Obviously, this is my first time being actually in a show. I thought it was because it was like I was in the second call out, and then I got scored the exact same the prejudge in the finals, and then the finals, as soon as they did the comparisons again, I didn't even have a chance to be in the second call out. But my scoring was exactly the same. And there were people in the call out behind me who had leapfrogged me before who had not was once compared to. So the judging confused me, and that's something I did ask about. But again, I think they. I don't know, to be honest, what happened with that, but I do agree with that standpoint that the judging was a little bit confusing. What they put out from a points thing.
Well, look, let's go straight to yourself, Jack, mate. So,
Okay.
Matt, I'll let you lead this one while I get up to the picture of Jack.
Yep.
No worries. So, mate, what was the atmosphere like backstage then? Did you get any sort of like sense of competitiveness from Chris as well? By the way, I just wanted to quickly go back to that. Or was he there just for fun? And what was it like atmosphere-wise, being amongst like all these top names? Was it all friendly backstage with everyone, or was anyone like kind of to themselves, kept to themselves?
Yeah, so there were people that definitely kept to themselves. There was definitely more comradeship than competitiveness backstage. Although it was private, it was hectic, to be honest. But the show did very well to control how, obviously the fans that were outside, they did very well to actually look after the open guys. There is a big difference I've noticed competing at that show. Backstage, the pros, the open pros had their own space. So you could literally be bunched together if you wanted to and chill, or you could go and keep yourself to yourself. And some people did that. In regard to myself, although it was crazy being there, there was that competitive side to me that was like, I'm focused now. And this is where I was sort of torn between the two, because I was like, okay, I'm focused. I'm just doing my job here, like I would do at any other show. And I'm also conscious of the crazy shit I'm experiencing, but I'm not focused on just making sure I'm doing my bit to be on the stage. And these photos highlight that, because I'm trying to be focused, and then afterwards, I'm sort of fucking losing my shit, especially after getting the second call out. I'm like, holy shit, I can't believe it. And there was that flickering moment, but in between the guys, there was definitely that sense of companionship between them, and it wasn't like this closed off sort of I'm gonna like beat you type thing.
Yeah.
It was nice, it was friendly, it was good. It was a great show to debut for many reasons, and that was one of them.
Because I was about to say, did I see you do a cartwheel on stage? Was that you?
Oh, I did a cartwheel.
Give me a second. Let me bring it up. I've got it here.
Was that always going to be part of your routine, or?
Mate, I had no idea what I was going to be doing until I had no idea from pose to pose. Although there were other competitors that went on before me, I didn't know what to do with this bit. It was my first time. I couldn't see what other competitors were doing. I didn't know how long to be on stage. I didn't know what poses to hit. I just thought I'm going to hit some strong poses. And then I was listening to the music. I was like, okay, cool. I can feel a drop coming in the air. I'm just going to do a cartwheel. Nice.
Guys, give me 1 second, guys, because there is another lad I want to jump on here as well, because he's just here at the same time. I want to bring him in. He was also at the Prague show, and that is Omar, who got the Olympia ticket. Omar, you're all good, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, maybe he just sound, mate. We're just chatting to Jack at the moment. He's giving us a bit of insight about backstage at the Prague show, because like me and Matt, we're watching from a distance. We're seeing videos. It looks absolutely mental of the crowd over there. It looked electric. It was so loud. Obviously the commentary for Giles, AJ were all telling us how mental it is and how how this looks like, one of the greatest ever shows to take place in Europe. What was your thoughts, mate, backstage? How was it?
It was pretty small compared to other backstages. I think that's where the mayhem started because, for example, in Romania, the backstage was like a different hall. We had a whole hall to ourselves. And then when each category were kind of getting close, they would take us to where the venue is, and then we'll share the backstage with another category. So in terms of the backstage, it was mayhem. There was a lot of people, but it was small. That's why it was a bit cramped. The timing was there as well. Everything was pretty much there. So they cramped everything in one place.
Matt, did you see the picture I posted? I think I posted on Saturday. It was something like absolute carnage, and it just looked. There was just people lying on the floor, stepping over each other. It looked absolutely mad.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. That was with the amateurs, right? It was packed.
Yeah, I think for the open guys, there was a difference. I think they had to as well because of the amount of again buzz around Chris. They had to sort of protect him a little bit, but yeah, like for the amateurs, I think there was a bunch of classes that were backstage at the same time, and for the open pros, at least, it was just one class for the prejudging, and that was just for them. So I suppose it was a better time than the amateurs.
Look, I want to jump from one person to another here. So I want to jump to Omar. And Matt, look, men's physique is your side here, mate. So Omar, let's just get straight to this, mate. I remember watching you at Romania. You came so close. You're pushing Emil to the end. And then obviously I knew that you'd be jumping on the next show. You're too close to give up. Emil's over Atlantic and you're over in Prague. And I think straight away, even Giles, AJ said on the live stream, this guy is the favorite. And they kept saying the same thing. From the back, you looked awesome. From the front, you were shredded. Omar, mate, you're off to Olympia. Is that Olympia jacket going on at the moment as well?
Yeah, yes, actually. I don't know if you can see it properly. Yeah, can you see it?
Yeah, it's trying to win brownie points early, wearing the match. Congratulations, man. Is it your first Olympia qualification?
Yes, it is. It's my first pro win and first Olympia qualification, so I'm buzzing at the moment, to get that across the line. Thank you.
You looked epic, man. Like, as soon as I saw your pictures, you were on. And the thing is, mate, the exciting thing is your look's been really consistent this year. You're always looking on, which is really cool. I saw Miroslav in the lineup, and I thought he'd be pushing you a little bit here because obviously he's a great competitor. He came second at Dubai Pro, pushing Aaron Banks even. And mate, you smashed it. Clear winner in my eyes for sure. So, were you worried about anyone else, or were you pretty confident going into this?
I was pretty confident after finishing second in the UK. I think Yemi took it, and then I finished second, and Emil finished third. We went to Romania, then I finished second again, and Emil took it, I finished second. And then going to this show, I knew that Emil wasn't going to be there, Yemi's not going to be there, and anyone else was going to be there. I pretty much beat already. But obviously with MJ, I love his physique. He's got really good front. So I knew he's going to come more tighter. I knew he'll be better than Romania. So I was a little bit cautious of him, but I was going in there pretty confident still because I still have, I believed in myself that I was still good enough to beat him.
Yeah. So what's the plan now, mate? Are you doing any more shows, or are you just going to focus on the Olympia?
There's one more show, Spain, Madrid. I pretty much committed to it before I knew I was going to win the Prague. I've already had a plan, like I'm going to do Romania, Prague, and then Spain. And Spain's supposed to be the last show of the season, regardless what happened, whether I qualified or not. So since I've already qualified for the Olympia, I'm actually going into this show with less stress, no stress at all. I'm super relaxed. And Emil Walker is coming as well to Spain. So obviously, I don't know if you know the history between me and him, but we're really good friends. We're like brothers. And So we are like, you know what, let's just go to Spain. He's qualified already. So like, let's just go to Spain and just have a bit of fun, you know, go head to head again. Because in this year, I've beaten him once, he's beaten me once. So it's almost 1-1 this year. And, you know, let's just go there and have fun and see who will be two, you know, this weekend. So less pressure.
Yeah, they're the best shows, man, when there's no pressure on it at all. You can go and have some fun. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Just out of interest, how close are you to your cap?
I was literally going to ask this. Yeah.
Around 4 kilos, 4-5 kilos.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
So where would you put that? 4 kilos.
Legs, definitely legs. Legs.
Have the judges sort of alluded to that, or suggested that, or is that yourself?
Not recently. Recently, they've been doing well. They haven't really said much, you know, like you're really close to winning or even 1-on-1. But a few months ago, when I was getting like finishing 4th or 5th or 6th, then yeah, they used to highlight it. But I know that myself anyways, you know. I need to bring, because now they're for main physique, the shorts are a little bit shorter, and they're actually looking for legs that want that balance between upper body and lower body. Yeah. So definitely
that hurts Corey Morris a lot, doesn't it? Because he doesn't quite have that balance top to bottom, because his top's really, really good. So, and Ryan Terry, look at Ryan Terry, he's extremely balanced. He's got the legs there. So that makes sense. So 4 kilos, I'm sure that will definitely balance you out, mate. That'll be a really nice look.
That's a lot with a lot.
Omar, I want to ask you this question very quickly, because you mentioned that you're going to go head to head with Emil again in Spain. I also know that fourth place, I think it was, what was it? Dwayne, that was his name. Dwayne won the pro card in Romania. He came 4th in men's physique. He's going to be doing the Madrid show as well. Let me ask you this, buddy. Where do you think you've got the beating then of Emil? Are you going to go against him again? I know both of you guys are going to go have this one, you know, mainly for fun. It's your last show, but you're both competitive. You both want to win. Where do you feel you got the beating of him?
Where do I feel I'm going to beat him?
Where have you got the beating? Yeah. What areas do you feel are your strength versus Emil?
Well, in the last show, everyone was saying I beat him from the back and he beat me from the front. I don't know if I agree with that. I think he's got a better back than I do. You know, he's got that little meat going down the lower back. And I think my front, I was a lot more fuller from the chest and the shoulders. So it's up and in pairs. A lot of people are saying our physiques are extremely similar, and it's just those little small details. I think personally, whoever comes the most conditioned on the day this weekend and brings a bit of balance in terms of fullness will probably win on the day. You know, because our physiques are very similar. Our strength is the back.
Here we are. Got the back shot now.
Yeah, so I think he's got a really good back. He's got that lower back and those lower lats coming down.
Yeah,
you know. So so that density is so he's got more density from the back as well. But from the front, I think my chest is a lot more fuller. I bring a lot of fullness on stage as well. But I think he's a slightly better poser than I am. He's a lot more confident on stage. So I guess it's just those small details, and I reckon whoever comes the most conditioned and brings a bit of fullness will probably take it.
It'll also depend on who the head judge is. Do you know who that is yet?
I saw a post on Instagram, but he's never personally judged me.
Okay.
I'm not sure whether he's judged Emil, so it's gonna be the first time they're actually having a look at me.
That's cool then. So if it's a new head judge that hasn't already judged you, it'd be like a fresh pair of eyes on you. So yeah, 1-1. It's going to be interesting to see who takes it.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
Well, look, let's go to Jack as well, because Omar, did you get a chance to catch any of the classic, the pro bodybuilding class?
Pre-judging, I think we watched it on TV. Like we bought the live stream. We were in Airbnb. In the finals, I was backstage. I was focused on myself. So, you know, when you're a competitor, you probably just kind of focus on yourself. You're not gonna go to the front and watch anything. But
Let's go to this, Jack, then, because I know, obviously, I read the post about where you were hoped to finish in your pro debut. And we know how much there was a lot of hype going into the show for, obviously, Bumstead and Martin. That was always talk. So I want to get this. AJ and Giles said the same thing that I was thinking when we were watching you doing your posing in the second call-outs in pre-judging, and that it looked like you were getting more and more confident throughout the show. Was that something that you were feeling, and is that probably where your where the cartwheel probably came from, and also your routine in finals?
Yeah. So it was, again, a completely new experience. And again, it was like just trying to be focused and not step out of line. And once I sort of recognized that it's like pretty much any other show, I felt at home in regards to competing again. And that quickly, I just kept the focus on myself rather than the other people. And the expectations were really placed more so on myself and how I did. I just wanted to have a good time. That's what I had the show for, was a good time, great experience. The funny story is I didn't expect to actually, because my expectations of this show were, because I entered last minute, I didn't expect to make it to the finals, so I didn't make a posing routine. And they came up to me. They were like, "Right, we haven't received your music." So I went back and I spent all night with the videographer that we had there, editing this monster mash of songs where we were like, "Right, okay, we need to make something epic here." So we went back. We made this awesome remix of 3 different songs. And then I spent the next day just practicing. And then I did, the worm in there. I didn't even plan to do the worm. I just did it. I've never done I've never properly done the worm. I could have ended so horribly, and I could have smashed my face in, but I didn't. I threw a cartwheel in there. I was just having a great time. And the crowd, I was going off the crowd's energy. The crowd was electric as well. And, we were bouncing off each other, and it was fantastic. The posing routine, I've got the videos, it was epic. I'm happy with what we're able to do in a matter of hours. I'm grateful that the show let us put a song in last minute, and we're recipient of that, because it was great of me to not really make one up, but we pulled it off, and the crowd fucking loved it, which I'm happy with. It was for show, and I had a great time.
So when you doing the worm and the cartwheel, Arcel was doing handstands. They're going to think we're a calisthenics team from the UK soon.
Oh no, I know. And people ask me. They say to me, they're like, "Do you have a background in dancing, or have you done gymnastics?" I'm like, "No, I just do random shit for some reason." Impulsively.
Jack, what's next? Because it looks like look, you made the right decision. When I saw Bumstead was competing in Prague, I was hoping that anybody who is currently in shape, why would they not take the opportunity to be part of such a historical moment and something that probably could take so much from it? So now let's look into 2025 or 2026. Talk to me about when can we expect to see you next on stage? We know we're going to see Omar in the Olympia.
Yeah.
And it's taken a few attempts to get there, but he's now nailed down his place. Talk about your plans for the next year.
Well, I'm going to have a similar mindset to Omar probably this season. I believe that he came to go and qualify for the Olympia this season. He got that. So that's my mindset moving forwards now. Is this one was for fun, perspective, and see where I landed with the physique that I got. And to be honest, I know that if I actually prepped for this show seriously as a pro, I could have got more conditions, and I know that's something that could have got a little bit better. So I think with me beating 10 guys this weekend just gone, I think I'm closer than I thought I was going to be. And initially, I thought it was going to be like a 2-year season thing, 2-year off season. But I think maybe next year for the end of 2025, maybe we'll even try Prague again. Obviously, that's towards the end of next year. You've also got the Big Man weekend. You've got plenty of opportunities. And I believe if I compete again next year, it'll be to qualify for the 26th Mr. O. And again, that will give me enough time to make further improvements, because I knew what I needed to improve on before I even entered. And the judges confirmed that I definitely need more size. Obviously, everyone in Open, every time they finish competing, but a select very few need to grow. And if you've won, they still need to grow. That's Open.
Yeah.
It's like you need to keep growing, grow. But I also know I could have been more conditioned. So I think the combination of those two, if I keep a good shape, I think I could be there sooner than I thought initially, because my expectations were actually quite low for what actually came out of the weekend. And I'm glad I did, just for that perspective, really.
I know you teamed up with Tom, didn't you, in the lead up to this? Are you going to be staying with Tom for your off season? What's your plans on that front?
Yeah, so I got sort of peer pressured into the show because I put it out there as a joke, right? I was like, I might fuck around, do Chris Bumstead and do this show. And there were a bunch of people like, do it. And I said to Tom, I was like, yo, do you reckon I should do this? And he was like, yeah, I'll help you. I was like, really? I was like, okay, cool. At least I've got that, because I self-coached myself for the season, and I thought, even though it's cool, I love that, I just didn't want the stress of doing that, go to abroad, and then having the last minute But I think I might go back to self-coaching, to be honest, because I'm happy with how the season went. I know what I could have done better. I believe I could remain objective towards the end of the prep, and that was my biggest concern with self-coaching. And I believe also doing that is maybe somewhat uncoachable as well, because even working with Tom, I was sort of like, hey, I still don't want to give him the full reins type thing. He helped me for sure. I'm grateful. But I still wanted to have a say in what it was. I didn't want to completely switch off and go, hey. But great to him for last minute taking the risk to obviously put his name towards this obviously entry to the show, because I could have been a dick and just ate cheesecake for 2 weeks and gone, hey, this guy coached me, and I looked a lot worse, so obviously I do appreciate him.
Good man.
I think self-coaching.
Well, look, Omar, I just want to finish with yourself as well, mate. So obviously you got one more show this season now, be in Madrid. Come 2025, are you just going to be focusing on the Olympia, or will you be jumping in some shows prior to it?
No, I'm just going to be focusing on a big off season. Probably jump maybe to 1 or 2 shows just before the Olympia.
See,
it's going to be like.
He loves the show.
So,
I said, yeah, will you jump at any more shows? No, probably focus on Olympia.
That's preparation to the Olympia. I to be honest, because I don't want to jump straight into Olympia. I want to get like some sort of a warm-up show, if you call it, to get the presence of the stage.
Maybe Arnold's UK is looking likely to be September.
Yeah, so if that's in September, that's local, that's home. So I'll probably jump onto that first. And then maybe 2 weeks later, that's the Olympia. 2-3 weeks later is Olympia, so that'll be perfect.
Omar becomes Olympian, and now the Arnold's is a warm-up.
I've done the Arnold twice already.
Summer Arnold's.
What's the goal for Olympia, mate? So everyone's got a goal. They've got a figure in mind what they want to do. What, top 16, top 10? What are we going for?
I'm just so grateful being there. I'm not really sure. If I said top 10, there's some really good guys there. Guys that coming back year after year. So this is my first Olympia, and I think personally my realistic target is the UK boys who've qualified with me probably finish higher than them, and I'll be happy with that. So finishing above Emil or Yemi and so on, the people that I know around Europe, then that'll be great.
But technically, at the moment, Addo's the highest placing men's physique guy, right? Because he placed the Addo, because he placed at the Olympia, I believe, didn't he? Or was he second call-outs, I think, or third call-outs?
I think he was, he?
Who's Addo?
I don't think he made top 16.
Well, you're talking about Yemi?
No, Addo, Zach's
You're talking about Zach's client. Yeah, he qualified in Sweden.
Oh, yes, him.
He placed.
I think I think Emil finished the highest so far in the UK. I think Emil got third call out. I think it was.
Okay. So Emil's the target.
Ryan Terry is from the UK.
Yeah. I mean, he's a different breed. I mean, we don't count him.
Well, look, guys, I really appreciate you guys jumping on, especially it's been a couple of days after Prague. So once again, Omar, congratulations on the Olympic qualification. You fully deserved it.
Thank you.
Deserved in Romania, but look, mate, your condition looked flawless. Can't wait to see this rematch against you in the media in a couple of weeks. And Jack, mate, look, you the car wheel sold it, but to see the picture with you and SULEIMAN and his, you took so much from it, makes it a worthwhile trip. So, mate, congratulations again.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Keep your eyes posted. I'll tag you in the worm. I'll be posting that over the next couple of days. But thanks for having us on, guys. Appreciate it.
Take care, guys. Take care.
Thank you for the invitation. Take care.
Okay, Matt. 12 minutes to go. We got to wrap up a few shows. I'm going to wrap this one up very quickly, and then we're going to get to Ben Weider. Yep. So let me jump on this one. This is the NPC Masters. So I'm hoping, I'm going to type in the names first and see if I remember everyone who got that Pro card, because we had 4 new Ifbb Pros on the weekend as well, just to make it on top of everything that's going on.
Well, strangely, they didn't put out much content, did they? I haven't seen many images or anything like that coming through.
No, so basically, I spoke to the photographer, Moira, I can't remember his full name, but he told me they had an issue on his phone, on his camera, which meant he couldn't load up pictures over the weekend, which I know he's still solving, because I was asking for a few pictures. But first off, Kerry, Keza, I think she won the overall in the previous 2 Pro Show. She took the Pro card in the Masters over 45, coached by Amanda Winston. So really well done. I know Amanda was messaging me, telling me that she's going to be one to watch. So a huge congratulations to herself in
her quads
the Pro card.
Really good. Her quads were super impressive.
Absolutely. Okay, let's see if I can remember the others. Lorna. Now, Lorna is Mad's Raw client. Here we go. So she went in the Masters Wellness. So huge congratulations for her. 46 years old as well. It's always interesting to remember people's ages here, but 46 and getting the Pro card. So huge congratulations to herself now. And yeah, looking forward to see what she does next. Okay, do I remember the others? Now, Zach had a client. I think it's Tone Barbara. Here we go. Yes, I did get it right. Perfect. So Tone, he got his Pro card in bodybuilding. I can't remember which class, age it was.
It might have been 50 plus classic.
Was it classic? Sorry, apologies.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
54.
Unbelievable. So good, mate. This look is crazy. Him and Zach smashed it. So yeah, congrats, lads. That's a really, really good look.
Yeah, 54 years old. So amazingly done. Congratulations there, buddy. And the last one, which is LRF's client. Let me just get Victoria. So let's grab her account.
Have you ever seen these lineup, Tuki? Like they're busy. All the categories are super, super busy.
Yeah, so a lot of guys were telling me that the show was running behind because it was so busy. But once again, it was very difficult to find some pictures of the actual shows and lineups. Even when you go to the NPC Euro's Instagram page, it's very difficult to find any pictures. But here we go. So Victoria also getting her Pro card in the Figure Pro. So many congratulations to her as well. So yeah, 4 new Ifbb Pros
Yes,
Not
cool, man.
bad. Not bad weekend.
I
Mate.
believe, unless I'm wrong, I believe it's like, so each age group has 2 pro cards until they get to,
Is it?
I think it's until they get to 40 plus, and then it goes down, or 45 plus, and then it goes down to 1 pro card per age category. But it's such a cool show, man. I'm looking forward to being a Masters so I can do it.
How many years are you off?
2 years off.
All right, mate.
Yeah.
Well, look, mate, let's go to where you're at. Was it Washington?
Just south of that, yeah, Virginia. Yeah.
Okay. Charles Bryant. So, did he take, was it third in the end?
3rd in the end, bro. Oh, so close, you know. So it's him and Patrick in the center for the majority of it. Right at the end, Charles gets switched out. And I saw the scorecard. There was only 1 point between it, 3rd and 2nd. And Charles actually beat the guy that won, Patrick, a few weeks before. So we got feedback from Tyler. Unfortunately, it was posing lost us a few points there. So the exciting thing is that can be fixed. It's only his 2nd year of competing, which is pretty crazy, coming 3rd in pro lineups in his 2nd year of competing. But yeah, we know what we need to do moving forward. There were 17 in that lineup. It was interesting because men's physique and classic were the only ones that were giving out the Olympia qualification. The open building in 212, there was no qualification. So those categories were pretty dead. But yeah, classic was packed, 17 in that lineup, and then men's physique was even busier. I think there was 23.
Was Charles the most shredded on stage? Because from the pictures, he looked absolutely peeled.
No, Patrick's definitely got that. Yeah, that's what Patrick's got Charles on the condition. He's phenomenal competitor. I don't know if you want to type in Patrick, right?
Yeah, what's his Instagram? Do you know?
Patrick then begins with a T.
Oh, here we are. This guy here?
Yes, that's him. So yeah, congratulations to him. He comes from Germany. That's his friend in the middle picture there. He got his pro card on the day as well. The German genetics are nuts.
This guy here. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but he's been competing all year, so it's cool to see him do well.
Mate, that shot there, fuck.
Yeah, really, really good.
That's a difficult guy to beat.
Yes. So yeah, condition was great. Charles has actually got him on size, so it was good to see him against each other again. And no doubts next year they're going to be more battles there between them. But yeah, it was a good lineup. Tyler was the head judge as well, which is really cool. You know, going to the natural show. I think he said a few times now, any naturals that are watching, there's a lot of plans within NPC Ifbb to bring out more natural shows.
Yes, I've seen that.
That'd be really, really cool moving forward. So, yeah, this was a bikini girl. I didn't see bikini because they were all on the day before, Friday.
Yeah, Emily. Yeah. So I did see a post she made where it looked like, because the show was running so far ahead of schedule, that by the time she got to the show, she didn't have time to get, I don't know, maybe properly glazed or get a pump or get some food in her. So it meant that Emily felt that she was super flat, lean, had zero pump, which of course, as we know, pre-judging would really impact her going to finals. So it didn't look like she didn't get what she wanted, unfortunately. But I know she'd mentioned that, look, she's happy with the overall package she brought to the stage, and now looking forward to making her decision on what she does next. So, yeah, it's a shame when those things happen, when the show runs ahead of schedule, and then
Top tip to anyone that's planning on competing in America: they're on it. They are on it, and the shows start early. So the show for the lads, and I'm sure it's the same for the females, 8 a.m. start, and they are strict on that. So if you're not backstage, you will miss your category. And they don't wait for you, so if you haven't got much time to pump up, like, that's it. So make sure if you do an American show, you're backstage early.
You know what, mate? I still remember the story of, and this is someone who was with you last year. Don't worry, you didn't prep her. I don't think you did, but Imogen.
Yeah, Imogen, prime example, Missed the category, and she wasn't the only one that day. I think she said there was like 5 or 6 of them that all missed the category. She still went backstage, I think, around 2 to 3 hours before what we thought was going to be. So yeah, American shows, make sure you're backstage early.
Travel the way, yes, make sure. But look, okay, so that is the Ben. You know what? There is one more I want to jump on very quickly before we nearly wrap it up. Let's get Emil, because he came second in the Atlantic Coast. He did post a video. Here we go. Looked solid.
Yeah.
Came second. The other lad obviously got the Olympia ticket. To be fair, I thought Emil looked absolutely flawless, and this kind of condition of this video really does show that. So obviously we know he's going to be back to go against Omar in a few weeks. So best luck there, mate. But he's got an Olympia ticket. Now he's just doing it because he loves the sport and loves bodybuilding and just enjoys traveling. So yeah, mate, let's see what happens in a couple of weeks' time. Okay. So look, I think what we're going to try and wrap this up in the next few minutes. And what we're going to do right now is just do a little go through. So basically, we've got the Pro Coach of the Year Award coming up. This is decided by the panel. We're just going to look into 5 of the coaches at the moment and just spend a little bit of time with them. And what we're going to do a part 2, which is going to be focused on UK shows. So that's PCA Worlds, 2 Bros Regional, very quickly FFC and UK BFF, but it's going to be very much predominantly around PCA World and a little bit on the 2 Bros region as well. So let's just get the first person up, mate. And the first coach I'm going to bring up is, let's bring Dan Welburn. So I think everybody knows Dan Welburn as very much the, 28 PC Pro cards. I mean, very much he's got the PC absolutely nailed down, won the Coach of the Year through PCA last year, probably will win it again.
Yeah.
Have you spent much time with Dan? I mean, after you being a coach, you probably had competitors go up against his competitors in the past.
Yeah, I speak to him now and again for sure. He's basically just the face of PCA, isn't he, when it comes to female coaching? I'm surprised he's got any time to do any judging, to be honest, because every show he's got multiple competitors going in. And yeah, man, he's just had a wicked season, a really, really good season. He's very good at what he does. I believe he went to Amsterdam as well with his team. I haven't actually caught up with how he did at the recent show, but I'm sure he did well. I don't know if you've seen. How did he get on?
I know, obviously, this is one of his clients, Monique. So Monique, she didn't place top 3 in the figure class, and she's a pro PCA. So she didn't get the top 3 placing. But I just want to jump on very quickly, is because I know Dan Wilbur is very much known for PCA. Monique has been killing the natural scene this year. She's been doing other natural federations. So, and also he did have, there was one other girl, I think she won, here we are. I do believe Val also won the 2 Bros regional overall before the 2 PCA British. So I remember, and also, there we go. We've also got Natalie, who was undefeated up until the PCA Worlds weekend, winning the overall at NABBA and also a few different shows. We've got another one here in Nicola, also won the overall at the PNBA Pro Show. Which was the Natural Olympia. So, I mean, with Dan, this is one of the reasons why he's nominated. It's not just because of obviously his record in PCA, but also we are seeing other strong results across other federations as well. Maybe not as consistent as with PCA, but because he's been so dominant with PCA, it's hard to not having him in my lineup.
I think a lot of that's down to the fact that he's known for PCA. So anyone that wants to compete in PCA will then go to him. So that's why his accolades and his results in PCA is a lot more. But yeah, it's clear that it's easily transferable across federations. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets quite a few more IFBB pros under his belt soon.
Well, talking about one person who is very successful with IFBB, and that's in regards to, especially getting in the men's physique division, that's Zach Fodrigan, who also is in our short list. He's got a fair few pro cards this year. Obviously, there was Tone the other week in the NPC Masters. Julio got it at the 2 Bros British finals. He had one of his competitors over at the Olympia as well. Not just prepping also men's competitors, but also we can see here Sophie is making a comeback next year on the IFBB Pro stage. Talk to me about Zach, mate, while I scroll through the pictures.
Zach is, I would say, I'd say he's up and coming, but not in the way that an up and coming coach who's come from nothing. As in, he's now breaking really into the pro circuit. Like the amount of pros he has with him now, it's a lot. And what's really cool is he's created a lot of those pros. So yeah, in terms of
pros.
Within the pro circuit, he's up and coming. And he's already had one client at the Olympia, so that was his first one this year. I've no doubt he's going to have more than that next year. And yeah, he's very good at what he does. He's very passionate about it.
4 Ifbb Pro cards this year.
5 now.
5. Yeah, sorry, Tony, keep forgetting. 5 Ifbb Pro cards plus Olympia qualifications. So, yeah, mate, that's really it's incredible. AJ Morris, let's go into more of a natural scene. AJ.
I'll be honest, mate. So this sort of side of the natural scene, I'm not too familiar with. So I'm familiar with PCA naturals, IFBB naturals, but the PNBA, WNBF, it's not sort of my area of expertise.
So I'll jump on the event because obviously Ben Lloyd is one of his clients as well. He's been killing it on the natural scene. I know he's at the WNBF World Championships this weekend in Boston. He's been killing it. One of his clients as well. There was Jack Chan, who competed earlier this year. Absolutely was killing the natural scene at the first part of the season. But the one thing why AJ has been recognised is because of his consistent results across all natural federations, whether it's UKDFBA, which obviously has the affiliation with the INBA, PNBA, whether it's the WNBF, OCB, even PCA Naturals. We're seeing a lot of strong results, not just in the UK, but also international, and getting pro cards across natural federations, not just male clients, but also females. So, yeah, that's why I wanted to recognise AJ and why he's part of the 10-man shortlist. Let's go to your coach mate, Martin Winston.
Yeah, mate, he's been absolutely smashing it. I mean, this past weekend has shown that, he got a pro card. Alex Lord won the PCA Open bodybuilding lineup. And he's had a phenomenal season creating pros. And I don't want to be biased in this, so I'm going to try and not be biased. But why I think he deserves to be in this list is because of the results that he's getting, but also the passion that he has for it. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I hired him as a coach is because I saw him at the Euros. Mate, he was in tears when his clients were winning the pro card. Like, that passion is awesome to see, and that's why it's transferred over into his coaching and he gets good results. So that's why I personally think he deserves to be on this list.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely one of the outstanding coaches of 2024, not just results with the NPC Ifbb and winning numerous pro cards, not just UK competitors, but also international competitors, but he's brought it in the natural scene, in PCA, which obviously showed with Alex Lord. Brian also, he won his pro card over at the Irish show. And I'm just seeing more and more people now working with Martin, which obviously shows that he must be doing something right. And the results show that. I mean, there we go as well with Eddie now joining Martin. When I say now joining, I don't know if it was with him before. Apologies if he was. Lewis Breed's competing in a couple of weeks' time at the Big Man weekend. But yeah, mate, it's phenomenal results. 9 IP Pro cards in total. I'm looking forward to really seeing if he can secure a Olympia qualified athlete, which I guess we'll see in a few weeks. The big man.
I think he's been a little bit unlucky. I think he's been a little bit unlucky that he hasn't so far, but I've no doubt he will very, very soon. He's got some top athletes on his team, so we shall see.
And we'll just finish on the last one of the first 5, and we'll do the next 5 on the next one. Oh, damn. And that's Cuba. And of course, I think we'll mostly know Cuba, not just obviously for the gym and obviously being a successful competitor and also coach, but also Olympia. He had Rhea, also Megan's breakthrough year, Rhea breaking into the top placings and now establishing a name. Obviously, you should always establish a name, but establish a name in regard to being a front runner now in Olympia. Now Sydney's retired and going into 2025. So talk a bit more about Cuba, mate.
Yeah, so no, you've pretty much highlighted everything there. I mean, I think he used to be really big in the amateur scene. Now, I don't really see him too much in some of the other feds. I see him mainly coaching for NPC IFBB and more upper level athletes. But the ones that he do coach, he gets great results there for sure.
Yeah, once again, a few pro cards this year as well. But I think really the big one that really stood out is when you do secure a top placing in Olympia, like with Rhea, in such a strong lineup, and we've seen the progression with her as well. How awesome Megan looked. I think she got 2 pro wins this year before she locked it down for Olympia. Same Rhea, once again, has had a fantastic season. So we'll go through the next 5 coaches on Thursday. We'll go through the UK shows, but you know what, mate? I can't finish it with one more thing. I completely forgot to mention this one lad. I'm going to do it in 30 seconds because he came third in the 212 show. 212 show, 212 in Prague.
Yeah.
And now he is moving to the open class at the big man weekend, and that is of course a sale. Here we go.
Debut season. I feel like he's really getting his name out there already, which is really cool. A lot of people are talking about him at the show, and yeah, he's just got great stage presence, isn't he? It's
a weird one as well because like he's. I mean, this is mad as well because he was telling me that he's telling you that he's really trying to dial himself down to get down to a 212, and then you see, oh god, who was the winner again? Ashman, I can't pronounce his names. I'm terrible at pronouncing names. No. You know what I'm on about?
No, I didn't see the 212 at the show, mate.
I'm terrible for pronouncing names. Oh, where is he? Can I find it? Oh, here we go. Oh, wait, he's on here. There we go. Ashkakani. I can't pronounce names for the sake of me. But literally, mate, this guy on the Prague weekend, he was so dense. I couldn't believe this guy was 212 pounds. I know he's obviously
Was he a lot shorter?
Yeah, I mean, here, you can tell here, just a little bit shorter. But, I mean, obviously, he's been on the scene for so long. I mean, Jesus, he was pushing Fleck Lewis for 8 years. But, my God, mate, the density on him is absolutely real. How he's packing on that muscle for 212. Yeah. I mean, from the rear, it was incredible. He was a clear winner, without a doubt. Looked better than he did in Romania. So, yeah, mate, just want to jump on
was he at the Olympia?
Sorry?
Was he at the Olympia? If so,
he was. Yeah, he was at Olympia. I don't know where he placed, but he's been at Olympia for so long. He's a veteran of 212. You know, he's been there pushing Flex Lewis back in the day when I think it was the 202 class. So yeah, he's been there from the beginning. All right, buddy. There was a wrap-up, mate. So we're going to leave us at. We're going to jump back on Thursday. We've got Eddie Robertson. We got Alex Lord, Josh Clough. We're going to look at the last 5 candidates for the Pro Coach of the Year. We'll look at the last UK shows. And then, yeah, man, that's the last 2 parts of week 42 of what has been a real weekend for UK bodybuilding. Brilliant results. And, yes, always a pleasure to report it.
UK is definitely on the map right now. I'm glad we split this episode into 2 because this was an hour and 10 minutes. So, yeah, long one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the next episode, mate. Catching up with some people from PCA, and yeah, see everyone then.
Take care, guys.